Hey there, I'm Caden Rains, and welcome to my basement. Today we're looking at Darth Vader, specifically the Black Series New Hope version of him. You know, if I'm going to have villains or antagonists, or however you want to think of Darth Vader, on a shelf, and there's a spot that's even mildly space or sci-fi related, then you got to have Darth Vader. He's just a really cool guy. But let's take him out of the packaging, take a look at what he's got going on, and then find a spot on the shelf for him. So here is Vader out of his packaging. I feel like despite the Black Series being a more affordable price point, this still does a good job of capturing his appearance and, what makes Vader kind of intimidating. Now, again, because of that price point, you're not going to get much in the way of accessories. There's no alternate hands. There's no face reveal, especially since this is specifically Episode 4 Vader. The only accessory we've got is his lightsaber, which is a pain to get in that hand, which is a little bit of a negative. And then, I've talked about this before, but the cape, I wish we could do something more with the cape. Especially if just a wired cape would be my go-to. But you need it because really, if you just have it open, Vader does look kind of silly with the way his legs are. They're supposed to be that way, and they've still got the joints pretty well done. The ankle only goes up and down. It's not a true ball joint. But you've got pretty good maneuverability with the rest of his limbs. Like I said, it's a pain to get that lightsaber in, and I don't even feel like it's really in the way it should be, but that's the most secure way I was able to get it. The only thing that doesn't really move, it acts like it should, but is his head. So no neck movement, which is probably meta accurate because that cowl was pretty big that he wore, that his actor wore, while James Earl Jones sat in the audio booth. But regardless, I feel like for the price you're spending on these Black Series figures, it looks good. It's at a good scale. It's got a good amount of detail. There's no really, I'm not seeing any bad paint job sections. Yeah, could you be a little better with some of the little things, like on his little pad here? Some of those squares aren't perfect, but is that noticeable? No. I only noticed it while I was looking for an issue. So I think he's a pretty good figure for what you're paying. Are there better Darth Vader figures? Probably. Do I care to search them out? No. As much as I like Star Wars in general, it's become this whole big thing from what I grew up with, and even beyond that. And while I'm not going to start complaining about certain buzzwords, there are things I like and don't like about the direction it's gone, but most of those don't involve Vader, so it's a moot point anyway. So Darth Vader Black Series New Hope Edition is a good figure. All right, do I wish there was little things here and there to make it better? Yeah. Wired cape, hand, either a different hand or an easier way to get the lightsaber into it, and that's about it. If it was a more expensive figure, then that'd be a different story, but this is not an expensive figure. It's also one of the ones, among the ones we've gone over, that's still pretty easy to find. I still see a lot of Black Series figures all over the place, so I feel that if you wanted him, you could get him without trying too hard. But regardless, let's go see how he looks on the shelf. And there we have Vader next to the Shredder and Xanatos. Of course, still off to the side of the Eggman stuff there. But I feel like he still fits pretty well there, especially since NECA uses something more akin to a 7-inch scale, while he is on a 6-inch scale. That's offset a little bit by the fact that Vader is just a very tall character. I'm pretty sure when Anakin had his legs replaced, they were longer. The metal ones the Emperor gave him were longer. But that's just the theory, a Reigns theory. Regardless, though, there are the non-Sonic sci-fi guys I've got so far. We just have like 2 or 3 more before we move on for the time being. There will be more to do in this section, as I've said before. But how do you think it's looking? Do you have this Star Wars figure, this Black Series Darth Vader? Do you think I should move him away from his fellow Disney and then Nickelodeon compatriots on the shelf? Or do you think he's fine there? Do you think and do you think it was worth me getting, or do you wish that I hadn't bothered, or that you hadn't bothered if you had him? Let me know down below. But regardless, I hope you had a good time in my basement, and I'll see you in the next one.